How exciting is this? Preakness 150. I'm Scott Wyckoff.
I'm Michelle Yu.
How about that? We're up here. We're so excited to have everyone here embracing all our Pimlico and Preakness memories. Sometime before you leave, close your eyes when you're somewhere, even if you're back in one of the old restrooms here. Close your eyes and think of that memory you have of Pimlico. Looking forward to so many more great memories here as the future will bring them. A place to get a little breakfast as we're here today. We're glad to be back for the Alibi Breakfast, a tradition that started right here in the 1930s on the porch in the old Pimlico Clubhouse that burned down in 1966. This is the last as we know it before we return here in 2 years to a newly reimagined and transformed Pimlico to host a new look Alibi Breakfast 2 years from now. The Alibi Breakfast, made even more famous by Netflix. If you were here last year, you've probably already gotten a call from your son or your daughter or your grandkids saying that they saw you on Netflix, which is pretty cool. A place to get some breakfast, see the people you haven't seen for a while, see some old friends, an event that pulls our whole community together. And I think as NBC's Brittany Yurton says so eloquently, a morning of boasting, toasting, and roasting. Traditionally, our trainers that you're going to hear from here today talk about what exactly is going on with their horses, offering up the virtues of their horses, but it's in the title, offering up their excuses or their alibis if their horse should not win. It's also about camaraderie, celebrating horse racing, celebrating Baltimore, because Baltimore keeps it real, right? We definitely keep it real. In the end, the Alibi Breakfast is a buffet that comes with a heaping serving of excuses and fried chicken. Michelle,
And don't forget the waffles.
have you ever had fried chicken at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. That's great.
As long as there's waffles involved, it's good. You can eat it at any time.
So Saturday, 150th Preakness, featuring the Derby favorite and second place finisher Journalism, along with the two other strong Derby runners, Sandman and American Promise. Some really cool new faces, including River Thames and Clever Again. And how about Heart of Honor, father, daughter, trainer, jockey combination of Jackie and Safi Osborne. Also a field of 5 Hall of Fame trainers, Dwayne Lucas, Bob Baffert, Steve Asmussen, Todd Pletcher, and Mark Casse, all having breakfast with you this morning. Also an incredible undercard put together by Jillian Tulloch, Eleanor Albert, and the whole awesome Maryland Jockey Club Racing office. Not to mention Black-Eyed Susan Day. That'll be tomorrow. Top horses from all over the nation and the world running here, including the $300,000 Black-Eyed Susan Stakes with favorites running and gunning and Margie's Intention.
Very exciting. And of course, if you're here on track, we know that you can watch it right out these big, beautiful windows or from the grandstands. But if you're not, there are a couple other options for you. The NBC telecast for the Black-Eyed Susan Friday coverage does kick off at 4:30 p.m. on Peacock. On Saturday, it will be on CNBC 2 to 4 p.m. And then on Big NBC 4 to 7:30. They put together quite the lineup, anchored by Ahmed Fareed. I know we've got Nick Luck in the house, Brittany and Randy Moss, Jerry Bailey, Donna Barton Brothers. I think I saw her eating some chicken earlier too. Also, you can watch on FanDuel, Ipica, and then of course on the simulcast. So lots of places that you can be involved. And Black-Eyed Susan Day first post is at 11:30. Black-Eyed Susan is race 13 at 5:44. Saturday Preakness first post at 10:30. And again, if you're on track, the infield will be an amazing place to be. Are you going to come to the infield?
Oh, yeah, I'm all
Are you
over
going to
that.
run the porta potties?
Oh, yeah, I get here at like 4 in the morning.
Just stake out your own porta
I
potty?
get to the porta potties before they're used.
So Ray Lewis is going to be hosting the Fan Zone this year. It's going to be so much fun. He said he wants to be really involved. So there's going to be a lot of interaction. There's going to be music. There's going to be gambling. And, you know, America's Best Racing is setting up a gambling area. If you feel like you've got the chops, you can step up on stage and handicap a race for them.
Do you think Ray Lewis had the best riders up ever last year for the Preakness?
Okay, so I was in the chalet, so I didn't get to hear.
He
Can
did
you
it.
do
He
it?
grabbed the grass and he went to the left. He did the squirrel dance. It was awesome.
Can you show me the squirrel dance? Is it gray squirrel, shake your bushy tail?
Yeah.
I like it. I'll be watching out for that this year. We also are going to have performances by Wyclef Jean and T-Pain this weekend. So tons going on, but let's get into some of our introductions here. I do want to welcome up a great steward of the horse racing industry over the last 4 decades. This is his 4th year in charge of all that we know as Preakness, the Executive Vice President of First, Mike Rogers. He's eating chicken.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, everybody. I don't want to hold this up. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Maryland Jockey Club and First Racing, I'm proud to welcome you to the 89th Alibi Breakfast, a tradition that's important as the Preakness itself. This is the week we've all been looking forward to, when Pimlico and Baltimore and Maryland become the center of the racing world. I want to take a moment, though, to thank Bill Knopf and the entire Maryland Jockey Club team. I also want to thank the First Racing team and the First Experience team. This was a unique year with a partnership between First Racing and the new Maryland Jockey Club. And the two teams have worked incredibly well together. But more than that, it reminded me just how much this race means to the people here. You can feel the pride, not just because of the Preakness, but a part of being something special. And that's what the Preakness is. They pour their heart into this event, and it shows. We couldn't do it without them, and we wouldn't want to. As we celebrate the 150th running of the Preakness, let's honor those who came before us, the founders of this race, the visionaries that started the Preakness, and the generations who have carried that tradition forward for a century and a half. The Preakness has been handed down from generation to generation, and now it's our turn to carry that tradition forward. It's our turn to protect it, to elevate it, ensure that it thrives for those who come after us. And it's exciting to see the new plans for Pimlico starting to come to life. And to the owners, the trainers, and the jockeys, thank you for bringing your best to Baltimore. And to the guests and partners, thank you for believing in what this race stands for. And the entire team behind the scenes, thank you for helping continue this legacy. So let's enjoy the morning for what it's meant to be. Have some breakfast, see some bold predictions, and of course, some legendary stories. Welcome to Preakness 150.
Nicest guy in racing, Mike Rogers. Thanks. Also, I've just told there's some Hall of Famers, both trainers and race callers from New Zealand and Australia gracing us. So you might want to tip a black-eyed Susan back with them.
What's in a black-eyed Susan?
What's in it?
Do you know what's in it?
There's a lot of bourbon. There's some sort of orange juice, I think.
Breakfast, excellent.
Yeah, so
okay.
It works good. One of the great Alibi breakfast traditions through the years has been the invocation delivered by clergy from the Archdiocese of Baltimore, America's first archdiocese, as we have now America's first pope. He's going to come to Baltimore and do the Alibi breakfast, right? Today, carrying on in that long, faithful tradition, we welcome Father Patrick Carrion of the Archdiocese of Baltimore to deliver this morning's invocation.
Well, I do recommend if there's any, I imagine most horses are American bred. If any was American bred and ran around the tracks in Chicago and then got put out to pasture in Peru and his name Leo, I would say that's a safe bet this week. It's typically the ones that are not in the top running, usually walk away with the crown. So let us ask Pope Leo's blessings with us this day. We recognize that horses typically appear in all ways, always. We enjoy their storied place in literature with Black Beauty, Misty of Chincoteague here in our own state. We admire them in sculpture, equestrian sculptures of presidents, generals, and monarchs on their horse. We appreciate their skills, whether it's watching Clydesdales march in a parade or Lipinzauner horses prance in Vienna. We read about them constantly in salvation history and scripture, where Elijah being taken to the heavens in a fiery chariot led by horses, for they always symbolize throughout scripture strength, power, and divine judgment. And we also seem to treat them like royalty as we trace a horse's lineages, as in the 1973 Triple Crown winner, Secretariat, who is reported to be in the bloodline of every horse that ran in the Kentucky Derby this year. So, Almighty God, creator of every bird in the sky, every fish in the sea, every horse in the race, we praise you, and we ask you to look favorably upon us this weekend as we enjoy this 150th Preakness. We ask that you assure that all are safe and blessed in your name as we ask your blessings upon us, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you, Father. And mentioning Secretariat, if you go into the little museum over to stage left, you can see the first glass. The glasses you have now, they started in 1973. Who came up with that idea? That was a pretty good year to start the Preakness glasses. I'm sure Jim McHugh has that Preakness glass at home. City of Baltimore taking to a national stage this weekend, as always, with Preakness 150, with a greeting from our great city as this renaissance continues. Hosting us all this weekend, as only Baltimore can, we welcome Baltimore City Council President Zeke Cohen.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Come on, this is Preakness weekend. We doing all right? Let's go. All right, that's better. So, welcome to Baltimore, the greatest city on earth. Let me start with a couple thank yous. Thank you to First Racing and its leadership, Belinda Stronach, Mike Rogers, Adrian Butler, Scott Wyckoff, who you heard from WBAL. Thank you to Dawn Moore and Hannah Scott, our two first ladies, to Governor Moore, to Mayor Scott, my partner, to the entire Baltimore City Council, to my friend who's here, Isaac Yitzi Schleifer, councilman for the 5th District. Thank you to everyone that makes this happen. And let me just say briefly why I love some horse racing. A couple years back, my family and I went on vacation, and I told my daughter I wanted her to learn how to ride a horse. And my daughter's 7, so she's at that age where horses are absolutely magical. And I said to her, look, the most important thing is safety. So the way you get onto the horse, the way you ride the horse, hold the reins, all of that. And so she got up on her horse, and I got on mine, and we started riding, and I fell off my horse. And my daughter said to me, Dad, you told me it was about safety, and you fell off the horse, so what's going on? And I said to her, it is about safety, but it's also about speed, and that's why I'm so excited for this year's Preakness to see who comes out and wins. Let me say this also. You are here in Baltimore at a moment of renaissance for our city. Baltimore right now is experiencing some of the lowest violent crime we've had in our city's history. Last month in April, we saw the least amount of homicides we've ever had in the city of Baltimore. We are seeing our population go back up, and you can't have a renaissance in Baltimore without the Preakness. This is a huge part not only of our city's history, but our future as well. And what is so exciting to me is to see that in the next couple of years, you're going to see $500 million invested in this area right here. We are going to fix this track. We're going to fix this entire racing complex that we have. And we're going to see a lot of improvement in Park Heights, which is the neighborhood that you all are in. And so this is an exciting time for Park Heights. This is an exciting time for Baltimore. And this is an exciting time for horse racing in general. And I heard there's some other place called Kentucky, but let me be clear, the best racing in the world happens right here in the city of Baltimore. And finally, I just want to thank my colleague, Councilman Schleifer, Councilmember Middleton. They've been crystal clear. The Preakness stays here in Baltimore. Governor Wes Moore said it. We believe that this is the place for great horse racing. So have fun, and may the best horse win. Good luck.
Thank you so much. All right, it's time for some awards now. Since 1996, the United States Postal Service has set up a temporary station here at Pimlico on the first floor grandstand. And the U.S. Postal Service, if you bring in some mail, will put the special Preakness commemorative postmark with first-class postage. So you can't send back your Amazon, but you can mail a letter. Previous honorary postmasters have included Hall of Famers Dwayne Lucas, Nick Zito, Bob Baffer. This must be the table that you sit if you have been honorary postmaster. Hall of Fame jockey Edgar Prado, and Horse of the Year recipients Segara and Nix. Going Scott was honorary postmaster one year. This year, we are going to welcome up the founder and CEO of My Racehorse, the groundbreaking platform that brought fractional racehorse ownership to the masses. More than 100,000 partners worldwide. Several of those were here last year as their Seize the Gray took the Preakness Stakes. So Michael Behrens and My Racehorse, honorary postmasters for Preakness 150. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I'll hold your tray.
Oh,
And
very cool.
the gentleman from the post office
Oh.
bringing more trophies.
Very cool. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks. Oh, it's nice. Real quick, just want to say thank you. On 150, quite an honor to get this recognition. Last year was pretty amazing. We had some fun last year. With Seize the Gray, we had 2,500 people that had the time of their life. And I just want to say for our business, it became a massive change because I'm a marketer by trade. I started this business because I wanted more people to get involved in horse racing. And when 2,500 people saw what happened to those 2,500, the winner's circle, being part of a Preakness, the trophy with Mr. Lucas, our site went crazy. We cracked 100,000 owners across the globe into racehorse ownership as a result of that. And so it's happening. This is a wonderful sport. I think ownership is a great way to get people involved. I appreciate the recognition, and let's have fun at the 150. Thank you.
And then you want to stand right here and hold the tray. And you can stand next to each other.
All right, our next award is the David F. Woods Award, presented to the best Preakness story from the previous year. The Woods Award now includes not only newspaper and magazine, but television, multimedia, and internet submissions. A winner last year that we'll be honoring at WBAL all Preakness long of the David Woods Award was Pete Medhurst, the voice of Navy athletics and also a voice of horse racing across Maryland. He passed away this last year. It was a thrill for him to broadcast here from the Preakness. We honor him. This year's award goes to Ron Flatter of Horse Racing Nation for his story on Kenny McPeak, trainer of the 2024 Kentucky Derby winner, Mystic Dan. Ron has been a staple among turf riders and now podcasters at the Preakness dating back to 1999, and he also has that honor of being the first rider to spill a cup of coffee on Scott Wyckoff at the Stakes Barn the morning after the Preakness. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Flatter.
This will be good to enjoy dining on the flight home, actually. Quite nice. First of all, my thanks to Mark Midland, who is the CEO at Horse Racing Nation. He not only is keeping this old man employed, but he provides a stage for the sorts of stories like the one I wrote last year. My thanks also to Kenny McPeak, who actually shared details with me about Mystic Dan, and it was a small group of people he shared them with, and these were rather private details. If you haven't read the story yet that's in the program, Kenny was talking about how smart Mystic Dan is and how there were ways he would show how smart he is. So smart, and how do I put this, since we just had breakfast, or we are having breakfast, what he said was Mystic Dan would do his business in the same place on the floor of the barn all the time. His business. All these years I've been accused of riding horse manure, now I have been rewarded for it. So I want to thank everyone here for that. I did not know David Woods. I'm learning about the years he wrote for the old Evening Sun. And we should take time to ask about the people for whom these awards are named. If anything, we owe them at least the curiosity of the role that they played and why they ended up becoming names on these awards. And we should also resist those things that would tear down these traditions. Like AI, for instance, which is the latest in a series of threats to honest and independent and entertaining coverage of racing. And for the record, AI played no role in the writing of my stories. Change is inevitable, but it should not come at the expense of important traditions like independent journalism, and it should not come at the expense of the Preakness in the spring in Maryland. May that go forever, and thank you again for this honor.
All right, so we have the best article. We also want to honor the best photo from Preakness 2024, and it's the Jerry Fruithoff Award, honoring the memory of the late, long-time, very accomplished, and very popular Maryland track photographer, Jerry Fruithoff. And the winner from last year is Tim Sudith of Eclipse Sports Wire, as he's being recognized for his photo, which captured the euphoria of jockey Jamie Torres after winning the 2024 Preakness Stakes, crossing the finish line aboard Seize the Gray with hundreds of spectators in the background. Let's welcome up Tim. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you.
So you hold it up for a picture afterwards, yeah?
Okay, sure.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
I have a box.
Okay, thank you. Good morning and happy Preakness Week. I would like to thank the Maryland Jockey Club and Preakness for selecting this photo this year for the Jerry Fruithoff Award. It's just a tremendous honor. I also would like to thank Jim McHugh and his team here at Maryland Jockey Club. They're always gracious hosts and accommodating us when we're here. Also want to thank my family and friends for their support and encouragement over these times. There's three gentlemen that I really wanted to mention: Scott Serio, Alex Evers, and Michael Clevenger. I truly appreciate your mentorship, and I appreciate the guidance along this journey. To my fellow Eclipse Sports Wire teammates, thank you. You truly inspire me. You guys create incredible images and truly push me to come better. To the owners and trainers and jockeys this year, best of luck in the next few days, and I look forward to capturing some more of those special moments. Thanks and have a great day.
Anyone want to get your plates? And right here for a photo.
All right, our next award is the Old Hilltop Award. The Old Hilltop Award honors those who cover thoroughbred racing with excellence and distinction. Past winners include, and this is about the most impressive list of winners for a horse racing award I've ever seen: Red Smith, Joe Hirsch, our very own Jim McKay, Billy Reed, Howard Cosell, Shirley Povich, Bill Knack, and Joe Clancy. This year's award goes to two-time Eclipse Award winner Tom Law, the managing editor of ST Publishing, which produces the Saratoga Special, which we all know well and good, and this is horseracing.com. Tom also a previous winner of the David Woods Preakness Riding Award, the Red Smith Kentucky Derby Riding Award, and the Triple Crown. He won the Joe Hirsch Belmont Stakes Riding Award. Tom does it all as he's contributing writer also here locally for Mid-Atlantic Thoroughbred and editor of Horseman's Journal, and officially today, the most famous graduate of Saratoga High School, the Blue Streaks, Tom Law, our winner of the Old Hilltop Award.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be from Saratoga. Looking forward to seeing everybody there in 3 weeks. It's the best place on earth, as I say all the time. Special thanks to the folks at the Maryland Jockey Club for continuing to recognize members of the media for their hard work, and congratulations to all the other winners today. One person of the Maryland Jockey Club team I'd like to thank is Dave Joseph. Way back in 2012, when Thoroughbred Times went out of business, I got a FedEx letter in the mail saying we were out of business, we had no more jobs. The first call I got was from Dave Joseph offering me a job. Appreciate Dave doing that, and something I never forget. And I appreciate that from Dave and all his friendship over the years. Speaking of calls, the next call I got, I'm not going to go through all the calls because I got a lot, but the next call I got was from Sean Clancy. Great Sean Clancy. He called. He used to always say to me, when are you going to come and work at the Saratoga Special with my brother and I? And I said, well, someday I'll come. Someday. Sean's first line to me was, is today someday? So that day was someday. So it's been 13 years. Been a great ride with Sean and Joe, who I've considered, friends and now mentors, colleagues. We do it all. They're the reason why I'm standing here today in more ways than one. Covered my first Triple Crown race in 1995. The great D. Wayne Lucas won it. Interviewed him for the first time in 1994. And he's still here. He's going to outlast everybody. And he's the king for a reason. So finally, most importantly, I want to thank my partner, love of my life, Cece, who made the trip from Vermont. She's far more successful and talented than I am. Her and Maddie and Carter are the reason I do everything I do. And thanks for all the patience and ability to reschedule all our plans while we're covering New York bred races on the weekends. But anyway, that's I've gone on long enough. Good luck to everybody. Congrats to everybody for being here, and thanks again.
All right, yeah. You can tell a lot of us are old school up here with all the papers. Michelle, she's got the phone working great. Thank you, Tom. Look forward to Saratoga Special. Time now for our Special Award of Merit. The Special Award of Merit is given by the Maryland Jockey Club to those who have made a positive impact on the racing industry. Past winners include D. Wayne Lucas, Hall of Famer also Jerry Bailey, Ramon Dominguez, and King Leatherberry. Also Jim McKay, Chick Lang, who let me borrow his tie here today, photographer Jim McHugh, Ellen Charles, Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, and Beyond the Wire. This year's award goes to the voice of Maryland racing, Dave Rodman. The popular voice of Maryland racing and the Preakness Stakes, and every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of racing since 1991. Dave's amazing contributions and positive impact on the racing industry, count them, for 34 years, Dave has delivered incredible Preakness after Preakness after Preakness calls. So good that for years, on trips to the restrooms at the popular Corner Stable restaurant on York Road in Timonium, you have been treated to the symphony of Dave's most idyllic Preakness race calls while you relieve yourself between cocktails. Hands down, there is no better big race and day-to-day race card track announcer than Dave Rodman. Ask any owner, ask any trainer, jockey, fan, or, probably the most importantly when you're a race caller, the horse players. Dave Rodman is the standard. Ladies and gentlemen, the Special Award of Merit to our very own Dave Rodman.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott, for those very, very kind words. You know, lately I've been heard, not seen, which is a good thing. I want to thank First Racing, the First Racing team, and the Maryland Jockey Club for the Special Award of Merit. I'm really honored to have my name on the list of winners, some of which Scotty mentioned, such as trainer King Leatherberry, riding legends Jerry Bailey, Ramon Dominguez, and Rosie Napravnik, Mr. Preakness, Chick Lang, NBC Sports, and Maryland Million founder Jim McKay. My roundabout journey to calling races in the announcer's booth began with my first years playing records. Boston, Led Zeppelin, the Bee Gees, and Disco Duck. It was all the hits, all the time. As spinning the hits and answering the request line in radio was certainly a dream come true for me, but spending more time at the races was number one on my playlist. Spending time at my home tracks in New Orleans, fairgrounds in Jefferson Downs, walking a few hots, betting a few exactas in the afternoon fueled a passion for racing. It was then track announcer at Jefferson Downs, Rick Mocklin, that nudged me onto the roof when he was leaving the booth the next year to practice calling races. Only observers I had of the first calls were a couple of pigeons who were roosting, and I was rooting with some tickets in my hand with an exacta box, hoping for a profitable night, never really thinking it would amount to anything. This year it marks the 35th Preakness for me at Old Hilltop, and by summer the old Pimlico grandstand in this clubhouse will be torn down and replaced, but nothing can replace great memories that we all have of Preakness history and of Pimlico. I've had the tremendous privilege to witness Preakness legends mark milestone after milestone, having called all of Bob Baffert's 8 Preakness wins, 5 of 7 wins by trainer D. Wayne Lucas as well in the second Jewel of Racing's Triple Crown. Preakness memories play back to me starting in the 90s like old VHS tapes of the day in my mind. Hansel drawing away in 91. It was my first Preakness. Back-to-back winners, Loblolly Lightning striking twice, Prairie Bayou Pine Bluff, Pat Day, Gary Stevens with masterful pace rides, Louis Couture's Oxbows, Silver Charm, Freehouse, Captain Bodgett diving to the finish out of the shadow of the grandstand into the sunlight at the wire in a Preakness we all remember. The athleticism of a Fleet Alex and Jeremy Rose, a record margin of victory by recent Hall of Fame inductee Smarty Jones, Rachel Alexandra, the first filly to win the Preakness in 85 years, Swiss Skydiver, another filly slicing to the backstretch on her way to a thrilling victory. Stick around long enough and might even get to call a Triple Crown winner, at least part of one, American Pharaoh and Justify. But one horse not mentioned is more hits on YouTube than Oxbow did in 2013, and his name was Spicer Cub, if you remember that race where he bolted to the outside, bolted again, and X-Man Xavier Perez went between the starting gate park to the outer rail and the inner rail in a space about as wide as his podium and shot through and almost won the race. So that was that race has 5 times more hits than Oxbow Preakness, believe it or not. I wouldn't be here without the support of my parents. I want to thank my father for bringing me to the track as a young boy. Without childhood introduction to the races, I might actually have had to work for a living for a while. So he's been a constant motivator. 150th running of the Preakness this year. I could list 150 people to thank, but I'm running out of time for all the encouragement and guidance and advice. Thank you to every single track management team I've worked for. Not once has anybody told me to call it this way or do it that way, giving me plenty of liberty and freedom. And I appreciate the Maryland racing fans for more than 3 decades. Hi ho Pimlico and the 150th running of the Preakness and beyond. Thank you very much.
And is there not a better call to hear if you're a owner or a horse player when your horse is on the lead and you hear Dave Rodman say, "A quarter to go at Pimlico." Dave Rodman, fantastic. All right, here we go. Time to introduce you to the connections of the Field of 9 for Preakness 150. Post time 6:50. As you'll be able to see here at the track and also on NBC, locally here on WBAL TV 11. Number 1 horse, goal-oriented, 6-1 morning line. Owners SF Racing, Starlight Racing, Madaket Stables, Stone Street Stables, Diane Bashor, Determined Stables, Robert Masterston, Tom Ryan, who follows me on Twitter, Waves Edge Capital, and Catherine Donovan. Trainer Bob Baffert. Of course, we heard how many Preaknesses Bob has won. Will he win another? Will it be number 9? It's been so exciting what he's done for us and also bringing us a couple Triple Crown winners in our lifetimes here. And jockey, the 2021 Preakness winner, Flavian Pratt, the son of Not This Time, appropriately out of a Fleet Alex mare, and joining us now along with a friend of his that he brought along. Michelle, you're joined by Bob Baffert and D. Wayne Lucas.
Indeed, I get to be joined by them, and Bob gets a mic, but Wayne should get a mic too, right? Oh, look, I've got 3 mics.
Right away. on?
It's on.
It's on. Okay, right away. I get second bike.
Well, you get to stand by me.
Pardon?
That's the bonus. You get to stand by me.
Yeah, but I can't see you.
Lucky you. I'll stand over here, then you can see me. Bob, are you so excited to be having breakfast with Wayne?
Wayne, I've always had a lot of admiration for Wayne since I was 17 years old, the first time I ever saw him in Arizona training horses, and I wanted to be Wayne. But I was looking at the special award of merit. I want to congratulate everybody. I see Wayne Lucas. I don't see Bob Baffert on the special award of merit. And how many do you have to win to get on this thing? I just wanted to know. I was just curious.
Maybe. How many did you win when you got on the special award of merit?
I think I only had 2 when they put me on.
No,
the pickings were slimmer at that time.
The reason he got in because he beat me in 1996. That's why he got in.
Maybe, could be. You wanted to be Wayne when you were a little kid. Do you guys have matching shoes on today?
I don't think so.
No, no boots.
Yeah.
Bob, no boots today.
No
I'm
boots.
disappointed.
No boots, no hat. He let it all go. He used to have.
I left that behind me in the quarter horse world.
Yeah, he left that all with us.
That's not true. I see Bob in his cowboy hat in California. That's
Well,
how you know
what?
Bob's got a live runner as he wears the cowboy hat.
Yeah. You know, I was looking at this lineup here. We got a great cross section of different people here. For example, Brandon Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from Ireland, gives us a little flavor there. I asked him, I said, why is it that the Irish got all the potatoes and the Arabs got all the oil?
And?
He said, the Irish had first choice.
Here we go. Here we go. It's coming.
What about the weather?
What about the weather?
Do you know what a weatherman is?
Someone who's right 50% of the time?
No, a weatherman is somebody that can look in a woman's eyes and tell weather.
Oh. He's been working on this. He's been working.
Bob, how come you never tell jokes?
I have not been working on this at all. I'm still getting
I've
over
left you here for 20 minutes to think of something funny to say.
I thought this is the Alibi. We're supposed to be talking about why our horses didn't run in the Derby.
No, why they don't win the Preakness.
So, but we're just happy to be here, and it's nice. I love Preakness, Pimlico, and I love the tradition of the Derby, Preakness, Belmont. I hope they don't change it because anybody that was there when 37 years when American Pharoah won, that has got to be the biggest sports statement that we made. It was unbelievable, and so I think the Triple Crown is still important, even though it's tough. But it takes a special horse to do it, and unfortunately, Bill Mott, he didn't feel that way about his horse, and good for him. That's the way he thinks. But at the end of the day, we need to keep this thing because this is what racing looked forward to see if it's historical, and to watch. Wait 37 years and watch Pharoah do it, and come back and watch Justified do it. It's really exciting. So for people watching horse racing.
I agree.
Brought me to tears. That was good, Bob. You rehearsed that well. You did really well. Handled that very well.
Bob,
is McCarthy here?
He is. He's over here, waiting his turn patiently.
I told Mike, I tried to help him out. He didn't listen, I know. He put his horse in the Derby winning stall. That's the kiss of death. You can't put him in there. I told him to go over and get him into another stall. Bob said, no, leave him there, leave him there. But I hope that Mike moved him over one
Did you
stall.
move stalls today, Michael? What number is the
40.
40. He's gonna go look.
Let me tell you, what, Wayne is wrong. I had Silver
Have you had horses
Silver
in 40?
Charm won the Derby out of that stall. Real Quiet won this Derby out of that stall. And who else won? War Emblem won the Derby out of that stall.
Well, don't make him feel comfortable. He's already got the favorite.
The best horse wins the race, Wayne. It doesn't matter
Really?
what stall he's in. I think McCarthy's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I do too. I think, Mike, it's your race to lose.
Yes, Mike, it's your race to lose. Don't
He's
mess it up.
smiling. Smiling. How about that one hole, Bob? Your favorite spot.
How about that, huh?
I will
Well-
say this. Hold on, Bob. Tom Ryan put there was 180 to 1 that you would draw the rail in the Derby and the Preakness, but 2 different horses. But then Mark Cassey chimed in. He did the same thing with the same horse.
Well, I've been fortunate to win it twice out of the one hole.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as bad here as it is in Kentucky. Kentucky, it just the one hole and the 17 hole for some reason is a kiss of death. But it's a shorter field and different riders. We've got Nick Juarez here from the hometown boy here. He's all excited. Gets to ride his first. Is this your first Preakness?
Yes, sir.
Don't mess it up. Just take a hold of him and make one run,
Take
all
a
right?
hold.
And then you'll be fine.
Hey, you know what? We got to watch out for this Mark Cassey. He's won the Sovereign Award as leading trainer in Canada by 35 times or something.
What happens in Canada stays in Canada.
You can't.
It's like Vegas, okay?
It doesn't count up there.
It doesn't count here.
Doesn't
no.
count.
It doesn't
Mark,
count.
nothing counts in Canada.
What else? What else are we working on here?
I think I have to go talk to Jamie Osborne. You have anything to say to Jamie?
Where is Jamie?
Jamie's
Jamie,
behind
where
you.
is I?
Look, he's
I
right
don't
here.
know Jamie.
You don't know Jamie?
I don't
Oh,
even know
Jamie,
him.
come here. Come meet the coach. Come. Jamie is very famous on social media. He had a great dog. He's very funny. Jamie Osborne.
Have you
D.
been
Wayne
here all
Lucas.
week? I never got a chance to meet
He comes early, but then he leaves. He's gone by the
man, how
time we're galloping.
Well, he
You
doesn't
know
come
Bob?
in. He doesn't come in here earlier than we do.
Yes, we know. He almost beat me in the Brit Cup.
Yes, Toast of New
Bayern,
York.
Yeah, Toast of New York
Toast
ran
of
a
New York,
great
yeah,
race.
Yeah, and all you said, well, what was that horse that finished second, trained by that Brit that looks like Austin Powers?
Yes.
Huh?
I said I almost got beat by a guy that looked like Austin
Dr.
Powers.
Evil.
Yes.
Wayne, what kind of advice do you have for Jamie?
Stay at home. You
There you
can't
go.
ship
There
a
you
horse.
go.
I mean, come on, let's be realistic. You can't ship him
His
halfway.
your daughter's riding the horse, right?
Yeah,
Well, that's great.
halfway across
He's
the
got a
world.
chance. Hey.
Put your daughter on it. I mean, it's a publicity stunt.
Crab. They don't serve crab cakes. I don't
Yeah,
think. in
yeah.
there.
I mean, it has no validity at all. Draw a line through that one. How
Hey.
about Pay Billy? I don't
Hey,
know
let
Pay
me tell you
Billy
what.
either.
Toast of New York. I immediately threw him out when I saw him in the.
Yeah.
And
he
then you were
almost beat
screaming
me.
when he was coming,
Yeah,
right?
He almost beat me. So
Yeah, but
you never know.
almost.
He's a great trainer, and he's going to be tough. He didn't come here to eat crab cakes.
I told the press said to me, "What about Baffert?" I said, "He's sneaky good." I said, watch out, he's sneaky good." And they said to me, they said, "Well, aren't you a little sneaky good?" I said, "No, I'm damn good."
There you go.
Wayne, what kind of advice are you going to tell Jamie to tell his daughter on race day?
How old's your daughter?
23.
23? How long she been riding?
A couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks? Good.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
There you go.
Has she ever ridden in a grade 1?
Yeah, but not here.
Not here.
No, she's good. She's a good rider.
She actually
good?
was the first woman to
really
win a
good.
race at Meydan, and she won, I think, 85 or 87 races last season, right?
Yeah, about
Right
that.
around there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost as
Is
many
she-
as you.
Is she single?
Wayne thinks there's 3 things you need in life: a good woman,
Well,
a good
Bob-
dog, and a fast horse.
Yeah. Bob's got a bunch of sons that are, you
Yeah.
know.
I've got one left.
What a
One
great
left.
merger.
He's
I've got
very
one
cute.
left. I've got one left that's eligible. No, I got 2 left that are eligible.
Matchmaker, matchmaker.
There
I
we
wouldn't
go.
wish her on my worst enemy.
You might change your mind if she doesn't give you a good ride. You might be sending her with Bob.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is adding a lot to the race. You know, it really is. It's adding a lot. So we go through the post parade, lope around there with his daughter, and we'll pack him up and send him back.
She might like it. Bring her to California.
Yeah.
We'll give her a
Yeah.
job out there. We'll take care. We'll get her going. We got the Tory going, so we can get her going.
All right, are you guys done hazing Jamie?
We're done with him.
I'm going to let him go. He wants to see his horse. Jamie, good to see you. Thank you. You guys want to talk to Michael now, right?
Yeah,
Pay Billy? You want to talk about Pay Billy?
we don't know Pay Billy either.
Okay. Look at his PPs real quick and tell us if he has a chance or not. Sell them to Wayne.
He's got a chance. He's in there.
He's won 4
What
out
about
of his
Pay
last
Billy?
5.
Huh?
He's won 4 out of his last 5.
4 of the last 5?
Yeah.
You got a hell of a chance.
Can I tell you a fun story? The ownership syndicate that put him together, this is their first horse they've ever owned, and they told the partner, the managing partner, go find me a horse that's a Triple Crown horse. And Mike said, I can find it. And he bought a $60,000 improbable, and holy crap, here you are, right?
Yeah, excellent.
Well, that is a hell of a story. What are you doing in September? We'll go to the sale together.
Well, actually, they just wanted a Derby horse. And when we didn't get any of the Derby points, I said, we'll point to the Preakness, and we won the Tessio, which is a win in the year in. And one of the owners, I said, we'll just point towards the Preakness, and he said, what's the Preakness?
Oh, boy.
These are real new.
Oh, that was a real room raiser-upper.
That was an eye-opener.
I think you need a black-eyed Susan for that.
Yeah.
Well, that's how green my owners are, so now they're probably pretty spoiled with this is their first horse, so hopefully we can get another one for them just like this one.
Improbable. I trained Improbable, and he
Very good horse.
He was a very good horse. Almost won the breeders'
If you could
cup.
win with him, anyone could win with him.
Yeah.
Beautiful horse. Matter of fact, you need to help my breeding rights there, so that's
There you
good.
go. Hopefully we get it done.
They might want to breed back. You never know. They might have a mare, and you guys can work something out.
We'll get you a hell of a deal.
Little tough to breed the improbable though.
What about the little guy to your right there? That's the guy?
Nice to meet you, gentlemen.
Have you met
All
D.
four-
Wayne and Bob?
All 4?
Yeah, sure, just for the TV. I'm very happy to be here, enjoying this time with those guys, the big sharks. So I'm very excited and waiting for the race.
Big sharks, he called you guys.
Have you ridden on them all 5 outs? You rode him?
Sorry, say that again?
Have you ridden him for his last bunch of races?
Yes.
How are you going to beat them? What's the secret?
No, it's not a secret. God, he got everything in his hands. He knows that you already know the result. So I know I'm going to be there doing my best, and I'm ready for the show.
His name also comes from one of the partners' dads was a big poker player, and anytime he'd win, he'd go, all right, boys, pay Billy, and then he'd swipe all the money. So that's where the name Pay Billy came from as well.
Oh, I see.
He looks good on paper. He looks good.
Well,
Who else do you need to heckle?
our
Do I need
name-
to go over here to Michael McCarthy now?
Well, I think you should.
Where's
Get
Oh,
him
yeah,
in there, let him in.
Michael McCarthy and I are great friends. I don't know if you guys watch the Breeders' Cup, but I am Michael's favorite interviewer. He never hides from me. We do laundry together. Hi, Michael. Are you so glad to be here?
Great. Yes. Super happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I saved this whole table just for you. Wayne's concerned about your stall. Are you considering changing stalls?
He had me going yesterday pretty good, so I'm not sure. I think the last time I was here, the first time I was here with a Preakness winner and runner and winner was in stall 15 or 16. So
You didn't get on the.
if I get beat from my stall that I'm in today by one of those two guys, I'll take my hat off to him.
Okay, hold on. You are a superstitious guy. You did not call the racing office and say, I want the Rombauer stall?
No, I didn't. Just next year we'll come back in the journalism stall. How's that sound?
Wayne, I feel like Mike has his own path right here.
You know, Mike, this is not Mike's first rodeo. He's won this race before. He's already won it once.
Do you have any advice for Wayne? He's trying to catch Bob.
I'm trying to catch up, Mike. Anything will help.
It's kind of hard to give any advice to a guy that's revolutionized the game. So just very happy to be taking part in a race like this on Saturday with legends like those guys.
And only one more win, and you can get the special award of merit, too.
Yeah. We'll see you here next year. Yeah.
That's a lot of talking for Michael McCarthy. We'll give him a round of applause. Thank you, Michael.
What about the Irishman?
The Irishman?
Yeah, where's
I didn't see Brendan.
Walsh? Is he here?
I don't know. Where's the bar?
No Brandon?
No. don't think he's here.
His Uber didn't make it.
Oh, Mark Cassie's over here. Do you want to talk to the Sovereign Award winner?
Mark Cassie is a great
I've seen
interview.
Mark Cassie actually is with Terry Finley and Griffin Johnson. You guys might be one of his 10 million TikTok followers. Fun fact, Griffin only had 8 million TikTok followers, and then he came on my podcast, and now he has the 10. Oh, sorry, can I squeeze in my butt? So just a little bit bigger than that. Mark, hi, welcome.
Thanks. I thought his viewers went up because of me.
Well, how many viewers do you have?
3,000.
Is that your OnlyFans or your TikTok?
Oh, okay. All right.
There's so much hugging going on this show. Wayne, what kind of advice do you have for Mark over here?
I always worry about Mike. Mark, what's your name? Mark.
It starts with an M, it's fine.
Yeah, he's dangerous. You got to watch him all the time. You know, that Canadian stuff, you know, he puts that as mask, but he's dangerous. I worry about him. The only thing is, I think Sandman's over the top. He's had too much. Probably should maybe get a rest.
You don't like the adage of gray in the mud?
You know, I have won the Preakness, right?
From the one hole, Bob.
Yes, Bob from the one hole.
Yeah, we were talking about that a year ago.
Yeah, I just want you guys to all understand what we're putting up with right now. We put up the entire week. That's the great thing about the Preakness. We all are in the same barn. So I have to listen to this every day.
All right, does he repeat jokes?
No, hey, he's a master at jokes. But then I got to listen to Bob tell me about, I said, oh, a good restaurant. He said, what would you know? He said, you live in Ocala.
There's one good restaurant in Ocala, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, so this is what I deal with. It's been going on for a long time. But on a serious matter, I could not be more proud to be able to be in, you know, considered in a group that I am, and to think when I started 47 years ago that I would be sitting here today with two of the greatest of all times and them talking about me. It's great.
I still pinch myself when I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, I have Wayne Lucas's number in my phone. I can text Bob Baffert. This is amazing.
I have a funny joke. Some have heard it before, but my son, when we were out at Del Mar, it must have been, he's 22 now, so he must have been about 14, 13. He says, Dad, do you think Todd Pletcher knows about this place, Del Mar? And I said, well, I think so, sure. Probably. He goes, you know why he's not here? I said, no, why? He goes, 2 words, Bob Baffert.
So smart at a young age.
And then one more. So we were having dinner with him. This is, again, he was 13, 14. And I said, your mom and dad, Mom and I are flying tomorrow because the Sovereign Awards. He said, oh.
How many of those have you won, by the way?
I think 16. Wayne kind of exaggerated there, but 16. So he thought about it a minute. He said, you think you got a shot? And I said, yeah, I think I got a really good shot. And he goes, yeah. Yeah, Todd Pletcher doesn't run much there.
I love it. Fanboy. Wait, is this something that you expected to have everyone be roasted right now, Griffin?
I'm just trying to lay low and make sure I don't get in the crossfire.
Have you gotten to meet the coach?
Yeah, briefly. We haven't got to speak a whole lot, but briefly.
Oh, well, you're very lucky. You were in the presence of greatness in this room. Thank you so much, Mark Cassie. Scott, where are you at?
Over here with the celebrity table. It's the cool table.
It's the best
What's
table.
it like
It's the
being at
best
cool
table, right?
Yeah. They're like, this is the guy who's out here before they get here, and they're like, would you tell him to shut up? It scares our horses.
What else you got on here? Anything else we need to talk about? Talk to?
I think we talked to everybody, didn't we? Who did we miss?
I don't know, Carter, you want to say something?
Todd's not here.
Todd's here. Well, Todd,
I haven't seen Todd. I saw Todd's horse today.
that tells you all you need to know about that one.
I mean, Todd is due. Todd is
What
due
about
to win.
Todd,
the
this is
race.
the race Todd hasn't won.
I think this is the year he might sneak up on us.
Do you want? Would you gift him one of yours?
I think Todd's got a chance here. I mean, he's got a good horse. He actually pointed for this race, so
Yeah.
You never know.
The sixth hole is actually the winningest hole at the Preakness. 18 Preakness winners have come from the sixth hole.
How about the one?
Mark Cassie, for sure.
Okay,
You did.
I had to. So
Yeah.
Wayne.
So a couple.
I don't remember stuff like that.
No.
I don't remember much of anything anymore.
All I know is that the best horse usually wins the race.
Usually.
We're leaving out a really important horse here in Clever again.
Their table is empty.
I know it.
Oh,
but
that's right.
we
Clever
be- we
again.
better-
Hey, American Pharaoh.
You
American
bet.
Pharaoh won this race.
Watch out.
And he's by the great American Pharaoh, and I saw him in the barn. He's a beautiful horse.
He is.
He looks good.
I think watch out there.
Yeah, we gotta be careful there.
Steve is an outstanding horseman.
He's won this race twice before. Once with a filly.
Yeah. What does this say?
That's Gosker. That's Brendan's horse.
Oh, it's Gosker.
Scott's giving Wayne his notes.
Brendan Walsh. This horse of Brendan Walsh's has got a great rider, Luis Saez, too.
Mhm.
Really a good rider. Really good.
And he's named after the baseball player, the famous New York Mets player that we didn't know of, but the ownership group, the folks that bred the horse here, Jim Gosker played for the Mets in the 60s and 70s, 6 other teams. He's a lifelong Mets fan. He's the only person who's going to be watching the Preakness who's older than Wayne. He's 82. He's going to be back home in Port Huron. And Donna Clark, of course, who bred this horse, says that he is the man that they want to name it after.
That is not going to help him at the quarter pole. He'll be on his own at the quarter pole.
What part of the race is the hardest part? Is it the start to get good position or just the end to make sure you're there? First turn?
The first turn. The Kentucky Derby is usually won or lost into that clubhouse turn. 20 head hitting it, everybody trying to be in the same spot. Here it's it's more fair, a lot fair. About the same distance, but 9 head makes a big difference.
Bob just wants to be in front.
I think at the 2.5, if your horse isn't moving by the 2.5, you might as well go back to your barn. That's the way I look at it.
2.5 what, from the wire?
From the wire. If they're moving about the 3/8, 2.5, if they're making a move and you see great body language from your jockey, that's a really good feeling. If you don't, just go back to the barn.
If you could have ridden one of your Preakness winners, who would you have ridden?
American Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just had to just be tight on and just don't look back.
I saw Jay Privman was in here. He wants to know how his namesake's going to run.
Jay Priven's got a horse named after him, and he's had one out. He's running Friday in the 5th race, and I think I will probably feel more pressure running that horse than I will goal-oriented in the Preakness.
I love it.
You know what, I'll tell you an interesting thing. I had last year at the Preakness was Seize the Gray. We had a horse called Just Steel at BC Stable, John Bellinger, whose family's with us here today. And it looked like Seize the Gray was home free, as he said, a quarter of a mile from the wire. And he hits the wire, and my wife looks over at me and said, "The wrong horse won." We were standing with the whole BC stable.
You're like, sorry.
Yeah, that's a little difficult.
Yeah, now when you have 2 horses, you have to stand by yourself.
Yeah, we only got the one for them. We're gonna make amends, don't worry.
Oh, we're going to make amends there with American Promise. Anything else?
I was thinking
You
Trump
good?
might come. American Promise, make America.
He's in Saudi right now.
Well, he's home today.
Is he?
He come home today. No, tomorrow. He's coming home tomorrow.
Well, perfect timing then.
Well, he just drive down the street here, just down the street.
You know how bad the traffic is to get in? Could you imagine if Trump came in? The traffic would be awful.
I think we should get him here.
I'll get on the phone.
I'll tell you
Michael
what.
McCarthy might know him. Actually, Griffin has the highest reach. Griffin, could you try and get Trump here for Wayne? Wayne says he can sit in his box.
No. If he comes, we'll have him.
He's flying
we'll
around.
Have him leg Nick up.
He's flying around in his new jet. He's in Qatar.
Yeah, but he's coming tomorrow. I'm telling you.
Maybe he'll be here for the Black Eyed Susan. If he's here, we'll get him to call Riders Up, okay?
He won't be here. He's coming tomorrow home.
All right, we'll see him. I'm going to steal all your microphones back, and thank you guys so much. Thank you for hosting the Alibi Breakfast.
That's
Wayne
right.
Lucas and Bob Baffert.
So now they're going to have to fill out one of those forms that you get paid for first racing.
You
So-
get paid?
I don't know. but
That's so nice.
They're going to want to get paid. So we would like to thank everybody for coming today. Hope you enjoyed your fried chicken at 9 o'clock in the morning. Nothing like it. My kids still ask me when they're 30 years old, Dad, did you get your chicken? I did. Reminder, Black Eyed Susan on Peacock. Tomorrow, 4:30 to 6 o'clock. The Preakness, 150. You're not going to want to miss it. If you're not here, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock on CNBC and Peacock. 4 to 7, NBC here in Baltimore on WBAL, TV 11, and on Peacock. Again, thanks for sharing the Alibi Breakfast with us. Michelle, how was it?
It was so fun. That was great. I'm ready for a Black Eyed Susan now.
Let's do it. So have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. See you this weekend. Hi-ho, Pimlico.